So I start again. I'm Remco Schuurbiers. I'm living in Berlin. I'm one of the three organizers and founders of the CTM Festival in Berlin. We are existing since 1999, and we started as a one-off, and actually as artists living in Berlin. During the years, we grew further and we developed in a bigger and more solid organization and a festival. Wait a second, do I have that other laptop to? There's my text on a bit that I can organize, coordinate a bit. That doesn't need any. I don't need a cable there. Anyway, I do it like this. It's a small one. So I have a. We started the festival with approaching the Transmediale, who didn't have really a evening program, and at that time there was in Berlin a lot going on in club design and making more out of a club than only a techno place, and there were a lot of concerts starting and with laptop performances in that time. So we started purely as an electronic music festival, and over the years we found out and developed more to another form, and we started to call us Festival for Adventurous Music and Arts. And it also started to, we moved in the beginning a lot from different locations, and in Berlin that culture is quite normal, that clubs come and go, and it's still happening, and it's still also increasing. And so the festival always had a change in atmosphere, dynamic. We are a relatively long flow festival. In the beginning we were 10 till 13 days, and at the moment we are a full week, 7 days, and we start early in the week on the Monday and we end in the Sunday. So we work slowly towards a weekend, and we have various evenings with themes in itself or focuses. The daytime started to grow more and more with talks and presentations, and over the years more and more in the beginning we had mostly the club redesigned, and we did a lot of design in the clubs, but when later in the festival we more and more that got to a change towards exhibition, which is now mostly added on the festival. I have to try a bit with the pictures, that there's something to see. So there's a variety of things happening. Concerts, we have club nights, we have single performances or a mixture with concerts and performances. The art installations and exhibitions. The wooden car crashes was an installation in the club, so people could sit in and walk around. In that year we had it. The other ones you see, it's more classical setup for an exhibition. The daytime gets more and more discussion and panel, and also that we did in the beginning more in the club, but there we had always the problem of the stress in a club, that there's still sound checks going on that had to stop. People at the end of a talk or a presentation, it gets a bit more with new people who didn't are involved, so we found out we have to go back more to concentration and do it in separate rooms. Then the festival had started to be in different venues during the week and the day, and we were more looking for the right venues for the right performances or presentations. Slowly we had also more and more workshops getting involved in the festival. So we have now slowly a whole bandwidth in the festival that is presented. There's an extra layer since we are together as a parallel sister festival of the Transmediale. The Transmediale started to have, to initiate and to be more active during the year with a new program called Resource, and that we are partner in that, and together with this we start our exhibition before the weekend, and in the weekend before both of the festivals we offer all the initiatives, or a lot of initiatives in Berlin around media, experimental music or crossover venues to present themselves, and then we call it, in the first year we called it Das Weekend, and now it's called Vorspiel. And that gives also the city and all the active people who moved to Berlin and started all kind of initiatives to get a focus together, a bit towards the city also, to show who and what is all there. And some of them keep their exhibitions or presentations during the week, and then people can also in daytime or in hours visit these places. Roughly what I can tell, we work mostly around a theme. So we, in the early stage, just after the last festival, we try to develop a theme, and that's also, we need that also for our application, because in comparison with the Transmediale, who has a national funding, we have to apply every year from scratch on. We have a little support from the Transmediale, but then from that point we just have to get our money, but at the end it's always too less. Even if you have a lot of money, it's always too less. So we slowly, after that first application is through, the team is set, and then we work towards that. And that's every year, wandering through the topics we think that's kind of on the edge, or where people are changes between art and music, or pop music, or cultural popular music, or experimental music. And yeah, that's one of that's the only text I left a bit, because I thought like, oh yeah, we wrote in our profile a bit about crossover, which is actually what I think, like everybody talks about it, but at the end it's not the thing I really always want to write down, but actually the festival has such a state of crossing over and mixing and bringing things together. This is a bit things that happen, what we do. We try always to make a proper catalog with own written text, and sometimes with little articles, or with art. The designer goes way further in here, and sometimes there are artists involved to design or bring in works, and then we have like some little merch for the things. This I'm going to skip. Now I go a bit through pictures of the festival with artists. And CTM is also like a very big network organization. We have, when we settled in a building to have our office, it became also a kind of bigger building. We totally rent it, and it has more space than we only use, so lots of other artists are involved. And we started together with, first we thought with everybody in the house, a project space, which is called General Public, which runs the whole year. And at the end it became more external people involved, and we are like 10 independent curators, artists who are making this space. And That's mostly also used in the festival for an installation or a presentation. The other thing what happened is that after a couple of years that we were running the festival, more and more other festivals were approaching us, visiting us, and people wanted to have collaborations, exchange with us, so we were wondering with certain initiatives we started in the festival to travel through Europe or even further. And slowly that became more serious, and it became like 2 festival networks. One is called ECAS and the other is called ICAS. The European CAS became a real concrete group of 9 festivals who applied in the EU for support and to make collaborations with financial support for over 4.5 years in 3 working periods. And the other thing is an international CAS, which is a worldwide connection of network of festivals who mostly all started late 90s or the most did early 2000 plus, and they all were not the classical festival anymore, and everybody has a different profile, but they have all this kind of not fitting in the classical festival with mostly music related focus festival. And in between became also, there's now a constantly flow and exchange that's also Sonica and is also part of this.